Riot has talked up their anti-cheat system for Valorant quite a bit. They say that wall hacks should basically be obsolete, along with speed hacks and teleportation and no clipping, and in my experience, it's been pretty good. I haven't run into any cheaters yet, at least as far as I'm aware, though we have talked about some cheaters in Valorant on the channel already, but there's a new concern about the anti-cheat that doesn't so much revolve around the cheaters, but more so the anti-cheat themselves, because several Reddit users posted about Valorant's anti-cheat, warning us that it might not be as safe as we think. They say the kernel anti-cheat driver starts when you turn your computer on. To turn it off, you either need to change the name of the driver file so it wouldn't load on a restart, or you can uninstall the driver and it'll be installed again when you open the game. And he says the issue is that it's running even when players don't have the game open from startup, and it runs at ring 0 or the kernel level, which means it always has administrator rights. Then he points out that BattleEye and Easy Anti-Cheat don't do this. They load when you're opening the game and they close when you close the game. And there's a few concerns about the anti-cheat constantly running. One is that Riot or Tencent might be trying to collect data from us, which is similar to something that happened years ago back in 2005 with Sony and their rootkit scandal. But another problem is that it potentially leaves your computer much more vulnerable to intruders, because you always have this program running with administrator privileges. So if someone can find a way to access the anti-cheat as you have it running, it can leave your computer open to intrusions and possible security breaches. Years ago, after Street Fighter V came out, players pointed out that one of the updates for the game had installed a rootkit, which again allowed the program kernel level privileges and people with malicious intent to possibly access your computer and do things with it. And that was a big deal at the time. Capcom basically had to hit the undo button on that update and roll it back. But according to Riot Arkham, the actual anti-cheat lead for Valorant, this is all intended, it is not a rootkit, and we should have nothing to worry about. He says Vanguard contains a driver component called VGK.system, which is similar to other anti-cheat systems, and it's the reason why a reboot is required after installing. Vanguard does not consider the computer trusted unless the Vanguard driver is loaded at system startup, which is less common for anti-cheat systems. This is good for stopping cheaters because a common way to bypass anti-cheat systems is to load cheats before the anti-cheat system starts and either modify system components to contain the cheat or to have the cheat tamper with the anti-cheat system as it loads. Running the driver at system startup time makes this significantly more difficult. We've tried to be very careful with the security of the driver. We've had multiple external security research teams review it for flaws because we don't want to accidentally decrease the security of the computer like other anti-cheat drivers have done in the past, and we're also following a least privilege approach to the driver where the driver component does as little as possible, preferring to let the non-driver component do the majority of the work. Also, the non-driver component doesn't run unless the game is running, and the Vanguard driver does not collect or send any information about your computer back to us. Any cheat detection scans will be run by the non-driver component only when the game is running. The Vanguard driver can be uninstalled at any time, and it'll be called Riot Vanguard in the add and remove programs section of your computer, and the driver component does not collect any information from your computer or communicate over the network at all. We think this is an important tool in our fight against cheaters, but the important part is that we're here so that players can have a good experience with Valorant, and if our security tools do more harm than good, we will remove them and try something else. For now, we think run at boot time driver is the right choice. So TLDR, yes, we run a driver at system startup and it doesn't scan anything unless the game is running. It's designed to take up as few system resources as possible, and it does not communicate to our servers. You can remove it at any time. So for one, it's great to see that Riot is actually responding to us and actually giving us answers, but their answer to this is also kind of comforting because they say that it's helpful against hackers who try to get their cheats up and running before the actual anti-cheat system starts. They say that they've had several security teams check it for flaws, and it does not collect or send any information from our computer to Riot. So they cleared up most of our concerns if they're true, but plenty of people still have the thought that maybe Riot or Tencent is collecting this information without telling us. But only time will tell if that is the case or not. And just a few days ago, not even 24 hours after the release of Valorant's beta, we already saw our first cheater. Someone was aimbotting while Brax was streaming, and we've seen plenty of other cheaters online too that you can find online. Most of them are aimbotters, but it really makes you question just how good the anti-cheat system actually is, because if someone could do this in less than 24 hours and start cheating in less than 24 hours, it can't be that good, right? But Riot themselves confirmed that for the launch day, they actually had the anti-cheat on more of a passive mode, so that way they could avoid more launch week difficulties. But now they've got it fully kicked in, and we should be seeing a lot less cheating now. Several others have posted about it on Twitter too because they're uncomfortable with it constantly running in the background, like Semler, who compares it to the ESEA scandal from years ago when they released malware into the client which forced users to download bitcoins, which ESEA actually collected and donated to charity, which might sound fine, but it definitely should not have been happening in the first place. But on top of that, players are also reporting that this anti-cheat system is causing their other games on their computer to have horrible FPS issues, which I have not experienced personally, but if any of you guys can attest to this, please let me know. But on the other side, some have defended Riot's anti-cheat, like 2eggs, who's actually responsible for creating an anti-cheat system on his own for CSGO. And he says that antiviruses are similar to anti-cheats and that they're both kernel level programs. They're both ring 0 programs. And he asked if we're okay with having an antivirus open all the time, but not an anti-cheat. To which the general answer is, yeah, I'll have the anti-cheat open when the game is actually open. That's when I want it open. I want the antivirus open all the time because it's protecting my computer. That's what it's supposed to do. But as someone who actually created an anti-cheat system for CSGO, he has some credibility. And maybe he says that because Vanguard is a very solid anti-cheat, you know, at least the way that he sees it, and maybe he knows that it operates safely on your computer. But how do you guys feel about this? Are you okay with Vanguard constantly running because there's other anti-cheats that do the same thing? Or would you prefer that Riot change it, or at least just give us the option to disable it while Valorant isn't running? And if you guys have any expertise or input on this, please drop some comments, let us know what's up, and we'll see if this is actually a big deal or if it's just what's best for us in the game. But of course, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you all very soon. Take it easy. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.